All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday for women visionaries in transition who want to cultivate a strong foundation of self care practices. I am the Change Guide for Growth that helps you accelerate your journey to authentic expansion, ease, and joy. And we are jumping on for my Women Visionaries in Transition Facebook series where I interview the amazing and inspiring impact makers in my network to discuss the transitions that have shaped our lives and businesses. So if you're joining us, please like, comment, and share below to let us know that you're here. And today I'm talking to Angel, who is in Troth & Co. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you. So fun.
Yeah. I've always had such wonderful conversations with you, and I'm like, man, we need to record this.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. So tell me about your backstory. How did you get to where you are today?
Where I am today. Well, personally, I've been in insurance for 12 years, and the story behind that is I stayed at home with my kids until they were in school full time, and I needed something that was fulfilling and rewarding, and I wanted to feel good and helpful about the work I was doing, and so I went into insurance and love it. I really enjoy the people and the process of it. I like relationships. I enjoy the products that I've had the privilege of writing, and so I've started out in life insurance, and then worked my way through all the individual products, and then came into health insurance and love it. Started my own agency in 2019, and so here we are. That's been, I mean, goodness, I started my agency right before COVID, and so that's been full of joyous, teachable moments. So yeah, all good. It's been great.
Yeah, I love that you use the phrase teachable moments because other people tend to view that as like crazy wrenches in the way that we're doing everything, but they are really teachable at the end of the day. Everything is a lesson.
Yeah. There was a lot of good that came out of it. It wasn't apparent at the time. It was a season of change for sure. And everything I was doing shifted so dramatically, so fast. Like all of my businesses that I supported were closing up. They were losing employees. It was just such a tough change at the beginning of it. And then we all kind of pivoted, and we got our footing, and we got our grasp. And we I think the people that adapted early on that, hey, let's treat this like it's forever and just completely move in it, handled it real well. And I think, those of us that were like, okay, this is it, this is the new norm, I think we kind of fared it a little better.
Yeah, I mean, we have to be adaptable because change is a constant. Like, if we resist it, then we're just self-sabotaging ourselves.
Yeah, it's coming whether you like it or not.
Yeah, right? What's that phrase? The only constant in life is death, change, and taxes.
Yes. Yeah, so, I mean, it's here, it's not going anywhere, and we're just constantly moving, so, yeah.
Yeah, so what kind of transitions have shaped your journey in life or business?
Well, I'm a single mom. I've been a single mom for, I think, about 11 years. And so that was a big one, right? That's a big one. And no regrets. I've loved every moment of it. I've just enjoyed all of it with the kids. And so that was a big change that, changes everything. It changes your finances. It changes your schedule. It changes, it changes how you shop, right?
Yeah.
So it just changes everything. That was a big one. And then when I transitioned into offering health products, so group health insurance and Medicare plans, I've worked on straight commission for the last 10 years. And so when I first started building that piece of it, I worked 3 jobs at the time to, keep things managed while I built that up. And I just remember, like, the first month I got paid, just working like crazy at it. It was like $79, and I went, wow, right? But the work was so rewarding, and I enjoyed it, right? It was new and it was fun, and so it was a labor of love to build it up. So that was a stretch for sure. That's a builder. And then opening up my own agency. I mean, that's been full of not just the practice, but the business part of it. How do you structure a business? You've got an LLC, and you have more expenses, you have more exposure, you create your own systems, you create your own processes, right? And then as you work through it, you're continually building all of that out to make it better and more efficient and make it a better experience for your clients. And then you move into the piece where, okay, let's scale, so then you've got more change, right? More, how do you do it? Where can you automate? And so that season is the season that I'm in right now. But those are kind of a few things that have just been like, shut up, so.
Yeah, I always joke that owning your own business is the fastest way to identify your shadows and your room for improvement.
Yes.
Because it will be put on a pedestal, like you cannot ignore it.
Yeah. You're looking around like, well, who do we complain to about this?
Can I speak to the manager, please?
Yeah. So, but it's been great. It has been good. It's been it's been a lot of teachable moments, and no complaints. I would do it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably sooner.
Yeah. I mean, I always joke that I would be a bad employee at this point because I'm so used to doing it on my own, calling the shots, having complete control over my schedule, complete control over my work output, inputs, that's why I was always a bad employee to begin with, is because I finished things so much quicker than people expected, and so I ended up spending a lot of time just sitting around twiddling my thumbs because I worked a lot of front desk jobs too, leading up to what I was doing, and so I often just brought books to read during work because I'm like, I already finished all the things you told me to do, and now I'm bored.
Now it's book time. Yeah. So it's been good.
Awesome. And what lessons did you learn along the way?
So many lessons. That cliche or that quote, your network is your net worth, 100% true.
Totally.
100% true. A fair amount of my time goes into networking, and I have a strategic, incredible group of women that I surround myself with that are always supporting me and helping me, and it's just this incredibly gorgeous set of women that we're always just helping each other through whatever the next thing is. What is your churn? What's the obstacle? What are you stuck on, right? And so I surround myself with incredibly smart, successful business owners, women who are just, doing the same thing that I'm doing, various different businesses, and we all bring together a certain lens and expertise, and so that's a big one right there.
Yeah, you got to find people that speak your language and understand what you're going through, because otherwise you can spend a lot of time trying to explain yourself to people who don't get it. When you talk to people who get it, you just get directly to the point, and you can hone in and get more efficient that way. And you need to surround yourself with people who know more than you as well, because you're not an expert in everything. Sure, I could Google it, but Google would take me 6 hours to learn something that you could tell me in 10 minutes.
Yes. I'm blessed with incredible experts in my life.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Where did you start meeting these people? How did you get around to developing this circle?
I started networking, let me think about that, 6 years ago. So I was forced to start networking because I'm not a natural networker, and as it turns out, I love networking now. So I started in a BNI chapter, which I love, And I've done various other kinds of networking. I do quite a bit. I sit in on other networking groups, and I meet with, I'm part of an alliance. I started an alliance with some of my favorite people, and we serve the small business community combined, and I love that. And because I do a lot of networking, when you meet a lot of people, you get the opportunity to meet even more people, which is how I met you.
Yeah.
You know, and then you meet the best people. And I think the one thing I can say is that when somebody says, oh my gosh, you have to meet my friend so-and-so, you're in, you're excited, you just know. You're not quite sure why you're meeting, but you're meeting and you're there, and it's so exciting. And so, yeah, I've been, all of my business comes from referrals. I don't do any marketing. I have a website, it's darling, it's cute, doesn't drive any business. It's all referral based. So
Yeah. I mean, the marketing statistics tell us that too. Like, the number one trusted marketing source for all North American consumers is recommendations from people that you know. Like, having those personal recommendations between people, whether it's for a product or a service or just a connection, is like so invaluable, because that trust is going to transfer easily if it's a personal recommendation.
Yeah, for sure. It's the best way to build. Absolutely.
And it snowballs, like you said. Like, you meet one person, they introduce you to three, they introduce you to three, and then before you know it, you have like 15 people that you're now introduced to because of that one singular person that started it.
Yeah, and I have, it's interesting because I have people on my calendar and I have no idea who they are. And we get online, and I just have to awkwardly say, how did you find me? Right? There's no trail, there's no introduction, and so, and that's incredible. So
yeah, I had to start adding that question onto my Calendly. When people book calls with me, I'm like, where did we meet? Because all of these people are coming out of nowhere, and I'm like, was it Facebook? Was it LinkedIn? Was it someone else? Like, I need to follow the trail.
I expanded my Medicare practice into 18 states, and now it was manageable at first, and now it's before we meet, I have to know where you are. Where are you? You know, because in the land of Zoom, we're all just right here. And so, yeah, I experienced that as well.
Yeah, also time zones. Like, man, I was in a call the other day. It was a group of people who facilitate events, and the question that was posed to the group was, what's the hardest, most challenging thing about planning events? And I was like, scheduling. Because trying to coordinate people's schedules is sometimes like advanced calculus.
Yes. And with the time zones, I'm always counting on my fingers. I'm like, you're in, okay. Yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, so what kind of tools or practices do you use to support yourself in the midst of all of this, either mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically?
I do a few things. I have a morning ritual that you designed for me, which I love, right? We worked on that really good. It is probably not the norm. You probably haven't done one like that since.
It was so much fun. Like, I was like, man, I'm almost going to steal it from you.
Yeah. So I have, my morning routine, that helps out. I have a busy season kind of similar to an accountant's or a CPA's, and so during that time, I run 30 plus appointments a week, and I'm exhausted.
Wow.
And so this goes from about October to, with my group business, that wraps up at the end of December. So it's this big, it's long, it's tiring. I usually get really sick when it's over, and I'm exhausted and just tired all the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, what, 6 appointments a day? That's insane.
Yeah, it's back to back. It's pretty tight, and so I come in January, February. There's a few things that happen. I'm usually pretty sick, and I'm exhausted, right? But this is also the time that I reset and I redo all my systems, and so this time intentionally I'm doing nothing for certain periods of time, which sounds terrible. It sounds terrible.
I love it. I love doing nothing. Nothing is one of my favorite things.
It totally works. One of my friends was like, you need to just do nothing. And I was like, oh, I don't even. I'm just doing nothing. I have this big comfortable chair I sit in, and I watch the birds, and I just intentionally do nothing. And surprisingly, like, if you can just sit and do nothing, I'm not good at meditation, full disclosure, as you know.
Sure.
I don't. But if you could just sit and do nothing, it's amazing what comes forward. Like all of these amazing ideas that you have to work on, but you can't think through it. Something happens magically when you just sit and do nothing. I mean, just something simple like watching the birds. Of all these great ideas, and I'm sitting there going, I am brilliant, right? Where has that been? Because I've been putting effort toward it, and it's just not happening.
Yeah.
And so that's something new that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'd highly encourage it.
Yeah, that's actually called downtime in neuroscience.
Oh.
So there's brain science behind it. And I actually specifically schedule in 20 minutes of nothing every morning into my morning routine because you're right, that's the brain space where we have insights happen. Because you're connecting all of these dots that haven't been connected before, and that's where you're most innovative, where you're most creative, where you come up with like new solutions. And I am a total fan of this process. I have my own chair too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm new to it, and I am in. I'm like, this is the best thing I've done ever.
Yeah. I think
so,
we need more nothing.
I'm psyched. I'm like, I just sit and watch the birds, and then all of a sudden, all these amazing things come forward, and things that I had been trying to fix or work on or work through, just magically, I mean, who would have thought?
Yeah. I mean, it's so undervalued. Like, you just need to sit and stare at a tree sometimes. Like, it's healthy for your brain. I could go on for days about how great it is.
Yeah, it's a few things. I pray, I gratitude journal, the downtime though, the time of doing nothing is incredibly significant to me right now. It's such a game changer for me right now where I'm at that I can't say enough good things about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the secret sauce right now for moving in the next wave of changes that are coming. So that's like it's incredible. Makes me so happy.
Absolutely love it.
So that's what I'm up to now, and I'm pretty excited about it. Doing nothing, hanging out. But no, it's the time where like this year I'm changing my CRM and I'm changing my systems, and to keep expanding I have to automate quite a few of my processes. So I got to figure out how to do that, right?
Totally.
I do insurance now. I got to figure out how to automate things, and that's taking some time as well. So it's that season for me where I readjust, reset, and make things better for the upcoming season.
Yeah, support structures are so broad. Like, they can be mental support structures, emotional support structures, physical, but also like technical support structures and these automations and these softwares that we rely on. Like, that's one of the things I used to focus on when I was doing business consulting is like, how can we just set it and have a robot take care of it so that it's not taking up any more of your brain space, because we have a limited amount of brain space. And I'm sure you've seen the meme online of like, I have 200 tabs open on my browser and one's playing music and I can't figure out which one it is. Like, that's our brains on a day-to-day basis, especially in this modern day. Like, we are highly productive and efficient and effective versus like a few decades ago. Like, it has evolved at such a rapid rate that it is so useful to use these software support systems to clear up that brain space for us.
Yeah, I'm utilizing them for sure. Getting some use out of all those subscriptions.
Yeah. What kind of softwares are you looking into?
So the changes on my calendar, I have, even though my calendar is capable of doing all kinds of amazing things, I don't know how to make it do amazing things. So I pay for it. I just need to dig in and get it more efficient for me.
Yeah.
And then I'm moving my CRM. I'm a Salesforce girl, but I'm changing. I'm moving to a different CRM, and that's a big change. The automation, I have a fair amount of automation that I built into my website, so my clients could go landing pages that can automate some of the legwork in the appointment process and have it go a little smoother. with a little bit less time, right? So
Yeah.
the second piece of it is that cybersecurity is mounting, and it's a big deal for all of us. It's especially a big deal in my business.
Yeah.
It comes with ridiculous fines, right? So securing everything, and so that's ongoing. The cybersecurity is like the top of my list, ongoing, right? It's just tightening everything up as much as you can, because the information that I handle is so sensitive. Right? It's very personal. And so that piece of it's always at the forefront. Like every year, there's new regulations, there's new guidelines, there's new products, there's new services, and no matter how much insurance you have for cybersecurity, it doesn't replace if you had to use it, right? So that's at the top of my processes. So.
Yeah. I mean, I love CRM systems. My favorite is actually Airtable. I don't know if you've ever come across
what's that?
But it's basically spreadsheets on crack. It is infinitely customizable spreadsheets that you can form into Kanban boards, you can form them into calendars, you can form them into like Trello-like calendar or gallery cards and stuff like that, or just a straight up spreadsheet. But it's a Zapier product, and so it integrates with all of the Zapier integrations. And so you can have it integrate to your Google Calendar, you can have it integrate to your MailChimp, like everything that integrates with Zapier is going to integrate with Airtable. So you can set up all kinds of back-end automation workflows with all of these different, it's basically like the center of the hub. So you can have all of your various softwares feeding into it so that you have all of that information in one place. It is amazing.
Wow. Okay, we have to talk about that.
Yeah. I use Airtable for my CRM, and I just use the free version, so I haven't even tapped into the full capabilities of what it's capable of. But even with the free version, like it's connected, you can do forms and all kinds of stuff in it, and it is also color coded, so it makes me happy.
I love that. Yes. Yeah, when we were working on my morning ritual, that was a big deal, is that it all starts off so colorful, right? And you should see it now. Oh my goodness. It's like, I'm not bragging, but I am my own Lisa Frank. I mean, it is just like, I take the entire page, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Super colorful.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, color is my jam.
Yes.
Everything
it's
is
such
color
a game
coded.
changer.
It is a game changer for sure, and it taps into, again, we're talking about different parts of the brain, like left side, right side, all of these different parts. Like one part is going to respond to color, one part is going to respond to organization, and when you combine them two together, you get like superpowers.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it was such a game changer for me, the work that you and I did together. Because you remember I was writing down my goals, right? And it was like every day, just because, right? You're supposed to write them down a couple times a day.
That's what
and in black and white,
do.
it's like da 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 da. But you put it in color, and all of a sudden it's exciting, and it feels like it's alive, right? It feels like it's moving and it's got life. And so, your black bic need not apply. I thought watercolor markers. What a game changer.
I love watercolor markers.
Yeah.
If you haven't found watercolor pencils yet, those are actually really fun too. Yeah. I used to use watercolor pencils as eyeliner in high school.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Did it tear up your eye?
No. And so you could get like really crisp lines with your eyeliner, and so I used to do like rainbow eyeliner with watercolor pencils. Man, I love color.
They must be like chalky or something.
No, they're more like the consistency of like oil pastels.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
Fun.
so they're a little smoother, and like you can determine like how much water you use, so it's maybe runnier or maybe thicker depending on how much water you add to it. But I would actually just use my tongue, and I would like lick the end of the pencil and then put it on my eye, and that was enough.
You're like, look, all my colors are right here.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not Maybelline.
Yeah. I could talk about art supplies for days. My mom was an art teacher for 25 years, so we always had a fully stocked art studio in my house. And I didn't realize until I moved out how spoiled I was to have.
Yeah. I know I have a big bucket with markers, and then for these markers, I keep buying new collections, and so they sell them in sets, and so I'm like, oh, well, we're just going to throw it in with the other ones, and I have just this expansive collection of these watercolor markers now, and I have more coming on Friday, and I was like, is it a problem? I can't tell.
No.
Don't even know.
No, absolutely not. No, the fastest way to my heart is taking me to an art supply store and letting me buy whatever I want.
Yeah. That card that just keeps going. Cha-ching. Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's been a game changer for me. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're totally welcome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I like to customize these rituals so much, because what works for you might be different than someone else, and yeah, your ritual is completely unique, out of all the rituals that I've done. But that's the point. It's not supposed to look like other people's rituals because it's yours.
It's not sweet. It's not like it's not sedate. It's probably not calming to anybody. Just
Yeah. But that's what you needed.
Works.
Yeah, that's what you needed. That's what you want. That's what you doing you looks like.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. It's this all-out war cry in the morning. It's great. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right. So this is powerful stuff that we're talking about here. I love having these chats with people like you, women in my network, because I'm like, man, I need to just record these chats that I have with people because they're so juicy. We cover so many different topics, and yet they're so relevant at the same time. And audience, I definitely encourage you to share your own thoughts and feelings and stories and insights with us as well, because we'd love to know how these types of transitions have impacted you in your own lives, because we all go through it in unique ways. And special thanks to Angel for joining me today. It has been an absolute pleasure, as always.
Thank you for having me. I had a great time. Thanks.
Yeah, totally. And I'm always looking for more guests. So if you're interested in coming on the series and sharing your own perspectives, please reach out to me. I think I'm actually booked through the end of July now with these talks, and so it might be a bit of a delay, but I'll get you on the calendar and I'll send you the sign-up links. So I can't wait to chat with all of you and have such a wonderful time. But in the meantime, please comment, like, and subscribe if you're on YouTube, comment if you're on Facebook, and check out Linktree/Liminal Clarity for all of my links. And then, Angel, where can folks find out more about you?
www.trothandco.com.
Excellent. Yeah, and I'll put those in the comments too so that people can easily access them. And until next time, remember that your authentic self is extraordinary, it is wonderful, and you owe it to yourself to create the elevated life that you know you are capable of. Take care, everyone.